can you hear me? Okay, it's still overrated network. Hold on. Because you go, it's live on YouTube and Twitch, right? Okay, and well, are you looking on YouTube or Twitch? Because I'm wondering if there's something wrong with YouTube, because it was taking a while for it to even load for me. Is it us three? That's what I'm stuck on. This one's for you. Oh, but it's on Twitch. It might be YouTube. Well, I'm gonna wait to see if another video will come up.
Welcome to AfterMat, your source for WWE PLE recaps. I am your host, the Secret Boss Cow, and alongside me, as always, I have my tag team partner, the Glamazon Delisha. What's going on, Delisha?
Hey, it wouldn't be another Monday PLE recap without some tech issues.
Right, and once again we are joined by Will of the Firefox. What's going on, Will?
Hello, thank you for having me. Last time I was here was the Royal Rumble. I'm glad to be back for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because like it says I'm live on YouTube, and on like Restream it says I'm live, and everything it says I'm live, but when I go look at it, I'm like it's not working. So I don't know if it's gonna be super delayed or something, but it says I'm streaming right now on YouTube. If it doesn't work out, I will just upload the Twitch video to YouTube because that's the only thing I can do because I don't want to keep like delaying the show because it's already gonna be a long show with us talking about WrestleMania today. But it does say I'm live with viewers both on Restream and on YouTube. Maybe it's just some glitch going on. I don't know, but people are watching. We got 3 people watching over here on YouTube. But so I apologize if I don't react to any comments because it's not coming up for me. So I have no idea what's going on. But hopefully it'll work itself out, and I can just either just send up the Twitch stuff, to you guys, or something. But yeah, this is really weird. This is really weird that it's not coming up. All right. Well, anyway. Today we'll be talking about WrestleMania 42. This is our season finale episode. We do have one more episode left on the season, which is our season 9 special, season-ending special. But this is the season finale, as our seasons go from Backlash usually all the way through till WrestleMania. This was a repeat of last year's WrestleMania, as it was in the same location, but it had a completely different feel to it this year. Felt a little bit more corporate than others. What did you think of the card, Will? Going into just for both nights overall in general, what did you think of the card?
A lot of good matches on the card on paper, just horrible build.
Yeah, for me, I didn't know what the hell was going on when it came to the build, like the build and all that. It felt like some of it felt rushed, some of it felt not built enough, and I didn't even know. Like I wasn't really like in on any of the matches. I didn't feel like I had any interest in any of the matches aside for the 4 that I picked. Well, 3 that I picked. Then the 4th I was just like a throwaway. I'll just take it kind of thing. But what about you, Delisha? How did you feel looking at the card? Were you like especially excited for any match, or were you kind of like let down with the card?
I mean, pretty much the same as you guys. Like we said, it was a year of terrible builds. But when you look, if you just look at the card, you're like, oh yeah, some solid and some solid matches that should happen on the show. But if you were watching week to week, it didn't feel like a lead up to Mania.
Yeah, some people are really like they really had to watch the promo package. Like, I stopped watching the pre-show because they don't have matches anymore on there. But the reason why I stopped watching is because they keep showing the same thing over and over, like the same promo packages like 1,000 times. So by the time it gets to the actual PLE, I'm like, why do I care about this promo package? It makes no sense to me. But like this time around, it had ended up working out because I didn't watch any of the pre-show, so it was pretty good that I got to see everything going on during I got to see all the promo packages then. But yeah, for me the cards I wasn't really like interested, like I said. So we'll go into night one first, and it started out with a 6-man tag team match with no titles on the line, I don't think. So it was the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso with Max Dupree against Division featuring Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and they had I Show Speed on their team. And I believe, Will, you got this match?
I got this match, yes I do. So the match started off with Division trying to uh divide the ring away from Jimmy Uso so that he couldn't get to his corner, like any normal tag team match does. Where the heel wrestling team tries to keep the face from the corner. Overall, there's not really any memorable big moments I can remember from this match. It feels like your normal standard 6-man tag that you see. I can't. If someone can correct me if I'm missing a spot or anything, because I genuinely can't remember anything until really the end of the match comes up. I don't remember if there was like an Uso splash out to the ring that they normally do or not. I don't remember if that occurred or not. Not in the match. Really, I only remember the finish to this match, which was LA Knight was going for the BFT to. I want to say it was either. I want to say he was aiming to hit I Show Speed with it, but Speed pushed LA Knight off of him and accidentally pushed Knight into into Logan Paul on the apron. Paul gets sent down to the floor. Austin Theory gets into the ring and takes Knight down and puts Knight in a headlock, yelling at Speed to get ready to run the ropes. Speed goes to run the ropes and Knight shoves Austin Theory into Speed. Speed. Then Theory gets knocked back into Knight hits the BFT and the Usos and LA Knight gets the victory. The only other memorable thing about this match was what happened right afterwards, which was Austin Theory and Logan Paul being angry, or Logan Paul mostly was angry with I Show Speed for ruining his WrestleMania moment. So Logan's getting ready to splash I Show Speed through the announce table outside the ring, but the Usos and LA Knight come in for the save, beat up Logan Paul with their signature moves, and then the three of them put Logan Paul on the announce table and encourage I Show Speed to go to the top of the turnbuckle or the turn post and do the I Show Splash through the announce table, giving I Show Speed a WrestleMania highlight. Like I said, this felt like a standard 6-man tag. It was a good opener to get the feelers out for WrestleMania, but nothing super special. I'll pass this on to Delisha first, and then we can pass it on to Cal after. Delisha, you're muted.
Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, I was glad this was the opening match because I didn't care about it at all. I don't like Logan Paul. I like everyone else. Well, but I don't like Logan Paul. Don't even know I Show Speed. So I was just like, this is our yearly celebrity match. So I didn't mind it, but I didn't really care for it. And like I said, the only memorable thing about the match happened after the match, after the bell rung with the top rope spot from I Show Speed, just to give him that moment. So it is what it is. It did get. I feel like it did get the crowd hyped though. So that's what you want from your opening match. But yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, for me, like I felt like these are all like okay, so they're getting all the audio. They're just not getting our video. So I hear the stream working. So like for the first stream, I just went back and replayed the first stream. It's getting all our audio, but for some reason the video is not coming up, and I don't know why. But it has all the audio, so they'll hear the podcast, right? Like a podcast, not a broadcast. They won't see our lovely faces and our graphics, but they'll hear us anyway. So they so yeah, for this match really, I thought like with someone like athletic like I Show Speed, someone athletic like Logan Paul, I thought they'd have like a really crazy spots, but we didn't get that, and that's what kind of disappointed me. I was kind of upset about that we didn't get those like crazy spots. So it was just a whatever match, and I felt like it was kind of rushed. Like nothing really big happened other than the last, like Will said, the last spot, which I was telling like I'd Raj and Shiv over. Then they normally come for like big ass PLEs like this, and I was like, I'll watch Logan get put onto the table instead of I Show Speed, and I Show Speed's gonna jump off and get hit, and that's what happened. And it was just really funny. But I feel like that was the only spot of the match when they had the potential of people like Austin Theory and Logan Paul and I Show Speed, that whole team being able to do really cool and crazy stuff, and they didn't do that. So I was kind of upset with that kind of stuff. But hey, eventually we're probably gonna get another match, maybe Logan Paul versus I Show Speed, and we'll see a lot of athletic stuff eventually. At Backlash or something like that. So one can hope. And if you're wondering why our summers going to be short, a lot of the matches are super short, as you'll find out in a second. Many of them didn't even reach 10 minutes long or 15 minutes long, so that was kind of crazy for the night too. There's more for night as well. I don't mean night too. I mean like night as well. It was just very weird to see very short matches at WrestleMania. Because this is like the grand idea of them all, as Vince would always say. And this is where all the storylines culminate, and we didn't really get much of that. We got where all the commercials culminated apparently. But yeah, there was a lot of commercials and not much wrestling. The second match of the evening was a non-sanctioned match featuring Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. And this match started out pretty quickly with Jacob Fatu attacking Drew McIntyre before he even got into the ring. Then Jacob Fatu went and got the toolbox from underneath the ring, and that kind of gave Drew some PTSD because of when he fought CM Punk and got busted open for real via the toolbox, and that kind of sparked something in Drew McIntyre, and he started beating the hell out of Jacob Fatu on the outside using a bunch of weapons such as chairs and tables, and setting up tables on the outside, as we knew that would probably going to be used later. There was another spot where Drew's brother gave him his phone, and he recorded another Twitter spot, I believe. Nothing's on top where he said "bored at work." That was the best one I've ever seen him do. But he did another spot just like that. Eventually, Drew went for a Claymore, but missed and hit into a chair that was wedged on the corner turnbuckle. That allowed Fatu to go for the moonsault, but Drew was able to kick out. And I think also Jacob hit another one of those pop-up Samoan drops earlier on too. Drew then I think slammed Fatu onto a pair of chairs, but Jacob got back up and started whipping Drew with his own belt. There were some times where I think Drew hit Jacob in the head, but Samoans have hard heads, so didn't really phase him, and he was able to Jacob was able to come back with a headbutt. Eventually, I think Jacob was about to do the he set up in the corner for doing the what do you call it, the moonsault again. However, it took too long because he's like getting the crowd involved as well. That allowed Drew McIntyre to hit a Claymore, however, and go for the pin. But Jacob was able to. I don't know. Wait, he hit a I think Claymore, and then they put Jacob on top. I think he might have hit the Claymore while Jacob was on top. Whatever happened, Jacob was stunned, and then Drew hit him with a chair, and Jacob did like a front somersault off the top of the turnbuckle to the outside through the aforementioned table that was set up. That was probably the best spot of the match. That was pretty cool. Jacob was able to get back into the ring, and I think Drew went for another Claymore, but Jacob dodged it, hit him with the toolbox that was set up earlier, which caused Drew to get onto the table. Jacob hit his springboard moonsault then and got the 1-2-3 and won the match. And I thought it was a pretty good match. I think, for what we saw, I think that was one of the longer of the two. It was the longer match. It wasn't that long, but it was still longer. And I think this was one of the better matches of the night. We'll get to the other matches tonight. But what do you think, Will? I think you're muted now.
Got to unmute my mic. Yeah, I think the Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre match lived up to my expectations. I was expecting a brawl out of these two. They're both heavy hitters. This wasn't going to be a technical wrestling match. So I think they both sold it well and told a good story out of the match of the fight. I like you said with the toolbox thing. I like the story with that for Drew McIntyre. I thought the finish was outstanding. Outstanding. I think the right guy won. I hope this moves Jacob Fatu into the main event scene going forward. Delisha?
Yeah, I really did enjoy this match. It was probably one of the matches that had one of the better builds to it, or at least I can see how we came to these turns of events with these two. I would have expected a little bit more violence. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but a little bit more aggressiveness in an unsanctioned match where anything goes. Like, well, I mean, we did see it in a few matches over the weekend, but this probably would be the match you would expect, like blood and stuff from. Um, but overall, I think they did a fantastic job. I mean, it's Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. Those two they kind of know each other so well at this point. Uh, but I guess also with it being unsanctioned, it doesn't have to go on like Drew's record as a loss, statistic wise, I guess. So it kind of like, no, it doesn't really help him, but it doesn't like hurt as much, if that makes any sense, because he hasn't been having the greatest of luck with win loss percentage in these big moments. But I will be excited. I too will be excited to see Jacob move on to the main event picture because it kind of needs him a little bit at this point.
Now it's working. Like now it's showing. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I sent you guys a link. You guys see it? If you look in the Discord chat,
YouTube is now working.
Yeah. So I don't know what was going on. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, it was a decent match. I think this was the better match of all the ones we had today. Welcome, Sassy Sammy. Thank you for joining. I think you're one of Will's friends. Thank you for joining. And Will, thank you for the. I think you subscribed. I think again, which I don't even really use Twitch, but thank you.
It's only been 42 months.
And then I think we had someone over on YouTube also. Didn't see the name. Sorry if I missed it because we're having technical difficulties, so I was working in the background on trying to fix this stream. But apparently now it's working, and I think it was. Let me make sure I acknowledge the name. Anthony Menzano, thank you for joining as well. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, otherwise it was a good match. I think it was very well fought, and the right man won because, like you said, Drew doesn't have to really worry about losing the match, and it didn't really hurt because unsanctioned and all that. The next match was for the Women's Tag Team Championships, featuring the Women's Tag Team Champions, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, which your team was like the Irresistible Forces, I believe. Charlotte, Flair, and Alexa Bliss, Lyra, Valkyria, and Bailey, and the Bellas. But I think Alicia will have I think you can cover this match, Alicia. You have a note about the match when it starts.
Yes. So we came out, everyone was their interested, and last came out the Bellas. But of course, if you've been paying attention in the last couple of weeks, Nikki was in a walking boot because she hurt her ankle in her last match. But despite all the trials to get her rehab in time, could not get cleared. So they came in with a proxy, was to surprise to some, but not all, is a returning Paige. If of course you're unfamiliar, if you're like new to wrestling, Paige was part of the what they call the Women's Revolution a couple of years ago, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago. I can't quite remember the actual time frame, but she was a big deal and revolutionized women's wrestling in WWE, not in general, but in WWE, to where they could be a little bit more aggressive and be actual wrestlers rather than just eye candy for the people in the crowd. And she had a devastating neck injury that took her away, and she came and was able to not be cleared by WWE, but was cleared to wrestle at AEW. So she was there for a little bit, and then I guess more tests done by doctors, was able to get cleared, and here she is back in WWE making a Mania re-debut or return, I guess, to help out her fellow friends because they are in real life really good friends with the Bellas, and to be their tag team partner to make sure they get that Mania tag team moment for those titles. Not much going on in the ring at the start of things until Paige got the hot tag, which is what the crowd was just waiting for at that point because they were just so excited to see her. Because if you don't watch any of the wrestling promotion, you haven't seen her in maybe 7, 8 years. Or something around about that time. And then at that point we started to getting into everyone let's hit our signature move segment of the tag team, which was kind of like almost like like each person of that tag team would be in the ring, so almost like a fatal four-way, so to speak. And then we had Lash hitting the lash extension. Yeah, this called lash extension on Valkyria, and then Paige and Charlotte took them out and to clear the ring to have a little one-on-one because they had a big feud back when Paige was wrestling years ago. And then after a moment, Paige got taken out by the natural selection by Charlotte. But then out, I think she might have been out on the apron or on the floor. I can't remember. But Nikki hit her with her crutch. And then we had Alexa, who was going up to the top. Had that a little more confliction of does she go help her tag team partner or continue into the ring because there are people in the ring at this point. But she decided to hit the Twisted Bliss onto Paige. Right? Yes. She. Oh no, I think she was hitting it onto Lash and a few others at the time, and then she wanted to go to try to hit it on Paige, who reversed it for I think she would try to go for the page turner, didn't get it, and then hit the Rampage, getting her the win, making them the new tag team champions. So, as you know, when it comes to multiple people in a match, it gets a little convoluted. But overall, I think the match was fine. Again, as you'll probably hear us say, probably at almost every match this night, it was short. I think it was 7 minutes for a four-women's tag, or just not even four women's, a four-person tag team match. You kind of expect it to go a little bit longer. Again, also WrestleMania. But like I said, they all got to hit their spotlights. And I mean, on the one hand, I'm glad she's back, but her return did kind of overshadow the tag team of it all. And because it is just a big deal for Paige being back, don't want to take that away from her. So, and then of course, I guess with that, knowing she was coming back, I don't know if the Bellas getting the title was the original plan or if they switched it when Paige was available. But it's very interesting to see how that would be going forth because, of course, Nikki's not going to be in that boot for long. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a little tension going on whenever she's cleared to come back. But overall, Will, what did you think of the match in and of itself? And were you surprised? And were you a Paige fan of her coming back?
He's on
And you're
mute
muted
again.
still.
He's on mute again. It's only because he called out Delisha. That's why now he's getting punished by the Discord gods.
I was ecstatic to see Paige back. I was a huge fan of Paige. I was upset when she had to retire because of the neck injury. Glad she was able to get cleared and had her time in AEW. Even though I don't watch that business, I did follow it and I did like a lot of her work over there. Glad we're getting to see her back here for a run home in her home company, as I call it. But I thought the match was really quick. I'm looking at the timing on Wikipedia, 8 minutes and 35 seconds for a fatal four-way tag. I was expecting a few other spots, like for example, we had multiple women. Charlotte Flair likes to do moonsaults outside the ring onto multiple women. I don't think we saw that I did like the tribute gears that wrestlers use, such as Alexa Bliss with the Bray Wyatt themed gear tribute, and yeah, Irresistible Forces using the Demolition themed tribute for their attire.
Yeah, that was
Attire.
cool.
It was a good, it was a great match. It's relatively too quick for me. And what was already a really quick show.
You're gonna hear that a lot tonight. Like every match, like let's see like a quick match. Like once we get to my, I don't know if it's my match next or not, but like at one point I told Ryan, I'll get to it when we get to that. But yeah, this for this match, I love Paige. I hate the Bellas. I hate Nikki Bella. So this like worked out perfectly for me because I love Brie Bella, but I don't like Nikki Bella. So this kind of worked out perfectly because I like the Irresistible Forces. I think they're called. Like Lash Legend, I wasn't really a fan of, but Alicia was always talking her up. And like Alicia's my go-to for NXT. She'll be like, wait, watch this person. Like eventually, you're gonna start liking them, and like it happens. Like a lot of the people, like I start like Io Sky, I started liking a lot now, and stuff like that. But yeah, I like seeing like Lash Legend and Nia Jax. They're cool. I love Alexa Bliss as everyone knows. I don't really like Charlotte, but I like Lyra Valkyria. I don't really like Bailey. But yeah, like it. At least one member of each team I really like, and it was pretty cool to see. And I thought it was a good match, but I thought like once again, like Will said, more could have been done. Like Charlotte's moonsault, maybe what do you call it, the Sister Abigail kind of thingy that Alexa Bliss does. Or Twisted, whatever, even a Twisted Bliss too, or stuff like that. Like it's just nothing. Like the whole point of WrestleMania, especially when you have these kind of matches, like when they used to have like the 8-pack cruiserweight challenge and all that kind of stuff that they used to do. Like everyone at least did their finisher once. Like that was what happened at WrestleMania. We did not see that in like a lot of these matches where if we have a giant match with multiple people, like we did not see people doing all their like every person doing their finisher at least once, and that's kind of like what you miss out on because that should be a staple at WrestleMania. If you've been watching WrestleMania for a long time, you know that is a staple of WrestleMania. So I was very disappointed with the fact that they did not have um, everyone doing their finisher and stuff like that. So that was just I was really upset about that. That was not cool for me. But other than that, the match was decent. I thought the Paige winning, I guess that's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I like it. I would love to see finishers and all that kind of stuff, but we did not see that because it's just a short match. Um, the next match was Seth Rollins versus Gunther.
Next match was Becky versus AJ.
Oh, well then why does it say Seth? Okay, Becky versus AJ.
Versus AJ was before Gunther and Seth.
All right, who's covering that?
That's me.
Okay.
I mean, don't worry, we'll get the Gunther and Seth in a matter of minutes. Because this was another short one, and not really many memorable moments in it either. It was just another standard singles match where Becky Lynch is half distracted between her opponent and her rivalry with referee Jessica Carr. Becky goes for there's a couple things that Becky goes for, including unwrapping a turnbuckle pad, but Jessica Carr called her out on it, and says like something about Becky being absolutely a thing, thinking that Carr would allow it. The commentators were even selling it like Jessica being a biased referee. This felt more to me like it was Becky versus the ref than Becky versus AJ, which it shouldn't have been because coming into this match, AJ is 3-0 on victories since AJ's return of being able to tap Becky out 3 times to the Black Widow. So that was a story being told in the match. We see on a couple occasions that AJ goes for the Black Widow, Becky was able to escape it. Even the second time, she used her body to swing AJ Lee into the turnbuckle, the corner of the ring ropes, and the turnbuckle, having AJ's circular repaired neck bounce off the middle rope, and that's good storytelling that happened in this match. But a lot of this match was also Becky getting at it with the referee. Like we even had Becky shoving Jessica Carr at one point, And I said to myself, "Oh, well, that's a disqualification." Because in any other match, it would have been a disqualification. But Jessica Carr just shoved Becky Lynch back in retaliation. Uh, Becky goes back to the corner that she had already untied and undoes it again without the referee seeing it this time, and then pulls Jessica Carr into the way of a charging AJ Lee to stun the referee. Becky Lynch would then send AJ headfirst into the exposed turnbuckle and hit a manhandle slam and get the win with a cover. There was points where AJ Lee had hit the manhandle slam herself on Becky and almost got the win, but it was another normal PLE match that wasn't WrestleMania worthy, but it was good to watch if it wasn't on WrestleMania. If this was a Raw or a SmackDown or a B level PLE, then this would have been an entertaining match to watch. It wasn't a WrestleMania caliber match for me. Since Delicia's away from the mic right now, I'm going to pass this on to Cal.
Yeah, for me, I think the first match could have been the WrestleMania match. They didn't need to do it again, especially with like having AJ win at WrestleMania. But there could be some behind the scenes thing where maybe AJ Lee, because like she did some like "I'm leaving now" or something thing after. I didn't see it, but it probably was on Twitter that she's like leaving or she's taking time off again, something like that. Even though what I heard was she signed a multi-year contract or long-term contract. So maybe that's why she lost because she can't dedicate the time at the moment. I know she does like comic stuff and other kind of stuff, but I would have been happier with the original match that she had with against Becky as a WrestleMania match, and her winning at WrestleMania. But maybe scheduling conflicts is causing this to uh, throw a wrench into the works and having her lose. So, like it wasn't that great of a match. They could have been better, especially with the caliber of these two wrestlers. Some of the counters were really cool to see, but yeah, the match is all right. It wasn't that great. Alicia says she's here. She's just, I think she's here, but she's just making some food. So, but I think she's there. Go ahead, Alicia.
But but yeah, I kind of felt the same way. This was kind of their more lackluster meeting between these two, and it did seem like they were more setting up more story for Becky and Jessica Carr, which I can understand. I didn't mind that if that was going to be like the B plot of this match, but also give us a great match. And it's not like at the fault of Becky and AJ. They did what they were produced to do. So it was just a little bit frustrating because now at this point we're all like, okay, like what kind of show is this gonna be? um, you know, like because once again we had another short match and we're like, wait a minute, I feel like only an hour has gone by and we're like halfway through the show already. So at this point, I could feel the frustration from Twitter and myself going on to where it's just like, okay, but it's probably not. I'm pretty sure it's not the end with these two. And I really like Becky's entrance with the live performance and her mink coat. I don't know if it's mink, but coat outfit fit. I did like that though, because we haven't actually talked about any of the entrances, but I guess they weren't really noteworthy
Notable.
until this point. Um, but yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure we're getting Jessica Carr and Becky either at a PLE or, like you said, on Raw or something like that, or an upcoming Saturday Night Main Event or something like that.
I would have liked Becky's entrance more if it wasn't lip sync because I don't know if you noticed, but the song started going off, the lyrics started going off before the guy was even at the mic, and then he ran to the mic and started
Oh yeah.
singing. So it was off timing. But the reason why that might have been political because the name of the group, I forgot their name. Wonder Years, I think. Wonder Years are very
Uh-huh.
politically outspoken, and they had like a concert the night before, and they kind of said some anti stuff that WWE is kind of friends with, of people WB is friends
Oh,
with.
okay.
So they didn't want to give him a live mic to say stuff because they did say it last time at the concert the night before. So WWE I think gave them a lip sync gig because they didn't want them to go off again.
Mm.
So if you go back and
Yeah.
watch it, I don't know if they
That's
edited
why.
that part out, but
That's why it sounded off.
It sounded way
together.
too perfect for a live voice over. But yeah, just go back and watch it. You'll see. Unless they edited that part out, you'll see that it wasn't live. The voice, the singing. All right, now the next match is Rollins versus Gunther. And who's covering this?
You.
No, I'm not.
I thought it was you.
No, because that's what I was saying. Like, why were you saying like it's going in perfect order when I'm not covering this one? Delisha is, I think.
Oh yeah, Delisha is doing this one.
Yeah, Delisha, yours.
Why did I think it was you?
My
Delisha, you
fault.
there?
I forgot to take myself off mute.
Yeah.
But sorry, no, I totally forgot that was me. But yeah, this was one of the matches. I don't know if I can say I was in like going into really into. I was curious of how they would do it because it only came about with like what the last 2 or 3 weeks. So again, not one of those ones with not a great build, and but given who was involved and because stuff is gonna come correct when it comes to Mania matches, and Gunther is Gunther. He's gonna be that technical or what you would think or what you would think going in the more technical wrestler because he is called the ring general. But then honestly, they started off pretty much almost like a street fight of them two just going after each other before the bell even rang off into the side of the apron. And just bear with me, I'm not upstairs with my notes, so now I have to go off memory, which we all know is not that great. Um, but they eventually get back into the ring to ring the bell, and then they still go after each other, more so in that grimy, almost as if this was the unsanctioned match. I mean, without any weapons involved, of course, but like almost as if this was the unsanctioned match. And I mean, I know it wasn't a stipulation of retirement for Seth as we've come to expect with the latest of the Gunther matches, but it seems like that's what he was trying to do, of take him out of the picture so that to force him into retirement. But eventually we did get to that more technical beat that comes from Gunther, especially getting him into the sleeper holds. Y'all know me. I don't know the technical names of this stuff, but getting him into those sleeper to try to choke him out. But Steph being Steph, and it being a big title match, hold on. He isn't gonna give up so easily. And honestly, I was having a really good time with this match. I think I even said it in the chat that this might be my match of the night. And I think literally as soon as I sent that message out, you hear a murmur in the crowd. I wasn't paying attention until like the last split second, and out of nowhere comes Braun Breaker to attack Seth, in which to kind of break up this match from the like I said, from the technical, like great match standpoint that we were having, to because I think this ended in the DQ, if I'm right? No, wait. I guess the ref was distracted. I don't know. But because after Braun, I got my notes back up if you can't tell. Braun hit the speed here, I think, and then Gunther put him in the sleeper that he didn't tap out. He like was, do you call that knocked out?
Yeah, he was just choked out.
Okay, choked out, unable to compete. And then giving Gunther the win. And then we did see Breaker leave, but he was just at the top of the ramp. I think Heyman came out at this point, and then Breaker ran back again and hit, well, as safely as he could at that speed, spear him at the outside the ring again. But yeah, that was one of the best matches of night one. I did I did hate to see it in that way because it was like going so well, but I guess that is a good point. But storyline wise, you would understand why Breaker would want to take that moment away from Seth. So we know that the Vision is probably getting back on track to where what they wanted to do before, and we'll probably see. I don't know if they'll keep this going up until SummerSlam. That's a long time. I don't know, but we'll definitely have to see a payoff. Because I'm pretty sure it's not just going to blow off at Backlash. But do you guys agree with me that this might potentially have been match of night for y'all? And did you like or appreciate that interruption from Breaker going in? Kyle, we'll go to you.
For me, no. I thought this match was boring. I think all Gunther's matches are getting boring now. It's too slow. Like he's a good wrestler, but I want to see like a good wrestler as in the type of wrestler like Bret Hart or like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat kind of wrestler. Like they keep talking how good of a wrestler he is, but he's too slow and methodical. He's like a Roman Reigns of good wrestling. Like it's too slow for me. I get too bored. And it's the same moves. It's like a chop. It's a Great Khali. Might as well be Great Khali. He's like the Great Khali, but a good wrestler of Great Khali. It's a chop. It's a power bomb, and it's like the what do you call that? That drop kick that he does. I don't, the shotgun drop kick, whatever you call it. And then a sleeper hold. Like that's all he does. Like I'm bored of Gunther, and like I don't even think that and he had a good promo that I saw against Seth. I guess the final week before WrestleMania on the Monday Night Raw, I guess it was. But other than that, I'm kind of bored of Gunther. Like I just don't think he's that good. Like he's good, but like it's just boring good. Like it puts me to sleep. Like his match like literally puts me to sleep. I think I did fall asleep in this match possibly, but that's why he probably gets a sleeper hold because he's got to put people to sleep in other ways too. And I just thought it was yeah I didn't enjoy this match. The Falcon Arrow was cool. Seth Rollins was cool to watch. Braun Breaker's initial spear was good, but other than that, like it was a predictable match, and I just was pretty. I wasn't invested. I thought it was not good. Well,
I'm going to completely agree with you on Gunther, and I'm Gunther is my favorite heel going right now. Like his mic work and the way he tells stories on promos and everything is outstanding. His matches are just so slow, and it is because he's a methodical wrestler. And like Cal said, it's the same four moves. It's the shotgun dropkick, the chop, the power bomb, the sleeper hold. It's a lot of stuff that's supposed to wear and tear his opponents down, and it gets boring and stagnant. I did find myself falling asleep in this match myself. I think it's kind of why I'm glad I didn't take the Gunther match because I knew I was probably gonna fall asleep halfway through it. But I was thrilled for the Braun Breaker return. I mean, I knew it was coming. Because they said that they said like literally days ago that Braun is cleared for a return into the ring. So I knew he was gonna be involved in this match, so that way it could keep Steph strong ish, so that it's not such a clean victory for Gunther, but it still gets Gunther that win. I can see that where the story of this going is Paul Heyman will probably say tonight on Monday Night Raw to Gunther, "Hey, I sent Braun Breaker out to help you win at WrestleMania. It's your first WrestleMania win because I think this is his first WrestleMania win, maybe his second, but he lost the last two WrestleManias. But he lost to Sami Zayn for the IC title 2 years ago, and to Jey Uso last year for the world title. So it improves his WrestleMania record by having this win. And Paul Heyman would probably try to play this off that, oh, this was the favor that this is how he's repaying the favor to Gunther that he owes Gunther. And Gunther's going to be like, nah, that's not the favor. That's going to be that storyline. But this also can go on with Seth Rollins and the Vision that will lead to SummerSlam. Because I think they're going to try to milk Breaker versus Rollins all the way to SummerSlam. I could see Braun Breaker be put in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and then Seth Rollins screwing Braun out of the Money in the Bank case because Seth Rollins is fighting someone else from the Vision on Monday night on Money in the Bank, whether it be Austin Theory or Logan Paul or someone else to keep Seth out of the Money in the Bank. But that's my prediction on where I think this story is going. this match definitely felt like, oh, this is gonna build up to something in the future for both wrestlers, and this is just them putting on a 5-star match.
Yeah, I think they could probably do better. It wasn't very good. Um, and hopefully they will have a better match next time. Because I just don't think that it was put up the potential of these two. The next match was for the WWE, no, the World Championship, I guess, the Women's World Championship, featuring the Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan. And the time it took me to say that sentence, the match was probably already over. Because that match for a world, Liv Morgan's entrance was longer than this match. She debuted her new single Trouble and did like a Britney Spears as dance and striptease or whatever prior to the match. Came to the ring with a whole entourage of dancers doing the dance, singing her song. Then Stephanie Vaquer came out. I liked her entrance a lot better because it was like the rose petals were falling from the sky. That was really cool looking. I kind of want to see something like that for Shinsuke Nakamura or an Io Sky or somebody like that with cherry blossoms falling. I think that would be really cool to see in the future. Mark it now. Mark it on your calendars now. Well, the match started and the match ended basically. But I will just tell you some quick highlights of the match as I think Liv Morgan kind of got started early on using Dominic as a distraction. She eventually used the three amigos in the match and a backstabber. Here's the crazy part. Stephanie Vaquer did like a devil's kiss like 2 minutes into the match, and I even told Roger Shiv, I'm like, dude, like, why is she doing this now? Like, this is like towards the end of the match kind of move. She literally did it like 2 minutes into the match. Well, I didn't know that was going to be the end of the match because she did that, and eventually, what's her face came out?
Roxanne.
Yeah. Oh, well, first I think Liv. Yeah, that's when Roxanne came out and distracted the ref. Then Raquel came from the other side and hit like Stephanie. You know, the normal stuff that happens. And Raquel, I think Stephanie was going for a finisher, which I forgot the name of. Like the spinal tap, basically, was going for that move, and Raquel threw her off the top, and then Liv tried to go for the Devil's Kiss, but this might have happened earlier actually. Liv tried to go for the Devil's Kiss. Stephanie countered it into an Oblivion, and that's when Roxanne comes out. Then Raquel comes out, throws her off the top, and then Liv hits the Oblivion after being distracted by Roxanne Perez again. And oh no, Stephanie hits a springboard to the outside, knocking down Roxanne and Raquel. When she comes back in, she's caught with the Oblivion, and Liv gets the 1-2-3 pin, and she's your new champion. This match, like, it was just like like spot, like 4 spots, and that's all that happened in the match. It was like literally like a 7-minute match or something like that. It was pretty. I don't even know how to say it. But what did you guys think?
It was a quick match. That's
Yeah,
all
I'll go to
I can say.
Talisha
It
first.
wasn't.
Or yeah, go ahead. Well, you already started. Go ahead.
Yeah. No.
Well,
It was just.
One of you guys. Go ahead. Whatever you.
Alicia, you go.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, this is just frustrating because it's not like these two can't go, and this is supposed to be your woman, male woman equivalent to, I guess they're Raw, so Roman and Punk. So why not let them go? Hell, at least 10 minutes. Jeez, like, I mean, there was some that said it is possible that Liv still wasn't 100%. I mean, she looked like she could still go. I don't know, but I don't know people's bodies and how their health is, but I don't know. It was just really frustrating to see. And I mean, we knew there was going to be interference between for like Raquel and Roxanne, just because that's how like the Judgment Day as a stable, rolls. So that wasn't surprising. But yeah, I was just like, this. I think at this point I started getting mad. It just like was on my phone, trying to like not give in to the internet wrestling vitriol that can happen online. But yeah, I was just kind of like pissed off at just how little they gave them to get this match done.
Well,
I mean, yeah, this match was quick, and I mean, with what Delicious just said, it did remind me that Liv Morgan was literally just injured a couple weeks ago and had that huge knot on her forehead. I believe she still had it in the ring tonight. So maybe they did want them initially to go longer for this match, but then for the safety of Liv Morgan cut it short, just get to the finish that they want get the title on Liv, because that seems like what they wanted the story to be. But I mean, it really felt like this match was rushed, and I could see that it was because of the injury that Liv was dealing with. But both these women could really legitimately go. And this felt like it was going to be Stephanie Fekir's first real like program as world champion, because I feel like that's the one thing she was missing her entire run as world champion. And I felt like this would have been her first real program. It would have been nice to see her win at her first Mania. I do like that the belt is back on Liv, but this match was just I was just highly disappointed about it.
From what I'm hearing, the like I think Stephanie and Liv both had nagging injuries, and they were just trying to keep the match short to spare their bodies. So maybe we will see a rematch at SummerSlam or something like that, or a Money in the Bank kind of thing, like where Stephanie gets it. But I think and she'll do the honorable thing. She won't cash in like at the end of a match. She'll like cash in to start a match, like maybe at SummerSlam or something like that. I don't know what it'll be, but I think we'll see something like that
Sort
maybe.
sort of like what RVD did in 2006 with Cena,
Yeah,
or
with the ECW One
ECW
Night
One Night
Stand, kind of
Stand.
like that. Yeah, I think someone else did that too. I can't remember who it was.
John Cena did in 2013, announced that he
Yeah,
was cashing in on CM Punk.
I figure it's seeing that. Yeah, so yeah, something like that. I feel like that's something that might happen with Stephanie Vacquier. The final match of
I
night
can see
one
it.
was for the WWE Championship, featuring the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes against Randy Orton alongside Pat McAfee, and I believe Will has this match.
I do have this match, and this match did have the added stipulation that if Randy Orton should lose this match, Pat McAfee will be forced to leave the professional wrestling industry permanently. That was a stipulation that was added on a couple SmackDowns ago, I believe. But before the match even started, Pat McAfee was on the mic and said to the ref, "Hey ref, before you ring the bell," and then he hit Cody in the head with the microphone, and they did like this pre-match assault on Cody Rhodes, but Cody quickly somehow got the numbers back into his favor. I can't remember how, but it ultimately resulted in Randy Orton going shoulder first into the turn post. Then Pat McAfee eating a crossroads. Then Cody brought Pat McAfee to the announce table and lays him out on the announce table. And as he's laying him out, you see Jelly Roll, who appears out of nowhere, but just manifests. And Jelly Roll jumps on top of the Spanish announce table and does a splash onto. Was it a splash or an elbow drop? Cal, can you correct me on that?
I think it was an elbow drop.
But it put McAfee through the announce table and it sent McAfee to the back for the match. So with the match getting properly started, we have a not clean match, but a standard wrestling match between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Cody's working the historically injured back of Randy Orton that constantly seems to be the target for all of Randy's big matches nowadays. Days it's targeted a lot. You even hear the commentator say when Randy Orton does his signature backbreaker that he probably hurt himself more than his opponent doing that. That So the match continues on, and ultimately Cody Rhodes. I don't know how Cody Rhodes ended up on the top rope, but he ended up hung up on the top turnbuckle. Turnbuckle, thanks to Randy swiping his legs out from under him. And Randy decides to climb up to the top rope and hit his father's signature superplex off the top, but that affects his back. The match continues. Randy's even on it. Randy does his vintage DDT, and when he goes to do the normal like pounding of the ring for the RKO, he doesn't go jump down like he normally does. He gingerly gets down to the ring mat to start pounding the ring. Cody would counter that RKO attempt, I'm forgetting spots. I know it because I know Cody went for a Cody cutter at one point, but missed, and think I think that's what turned into the Orton signature backbreaker, but I could be wrong on that. That just note that every time Cody Rhodes went for the Cody cutter, it was faulted. Faulted. I think every time Randy Orton went for the RKO, it was faulted. Anytime Cody went for the Crossroads, it was faulted. These two were technically know each other so well that because of their long legacy of knowing one another, so they know how
Legacy.
to counter each other's moves. But we started seeing like some dirty tactics from Cody Rhodes, such as thumbs to the eyes, and when the referee is distracted by oh wait, no, I'm thinking of a different match. So match that someone else is covering. I'm mixing up spots here. But no, it was Randy that went for a low blow here because the ref was distracted by something. Randy went for a low blow, but Cody Rhodes blocked it. Blocked it. I think Cody hit Randy with his own low blow. I'm not sure, but Cody was doing some dirty tactics here. But there was one too many eye pokes to Randy's eyes, and then Randy would end up RKOing Charles Robinson, the referee of the match, taking Charles out. Randy would and then come back and hit a RKO on Cody Rhodes, have him in the ring to be covered, and Pat McAfee, referee shirt on, neck brace on, and everything, comes running down to the ring, all Charles Robinson like from WrestleMania 24. Comes into the ring to do a count, and he does a normal count.
That's
He
what I
does a
said.
normal pace count for an official for Randy Orton. Like Pat, you for weeks you've been saying this is your guy. This is the guy who needs to beat Cody Rhodes. Give him a fast count. So Cody Rhodes gets the shoulder up. Randy Orton does this look at Pat Matt McAfee like the Apex Predator of 09, and McAfee eats an RKO and gets kicked out of the ring. Cody Rhodes grabs Randy Orton and hits the Crossroads and gets a 1, 2, 3, 3, and that was the first. That was the first. I think the first Crossroads by Cody that connected in a match. This was a good match between Cody and Randy. Randy. And I'll get to the aftermath of the match in 1 second, but I gotta say one thing. This felt like a good match, but it didn't feel like a WrestleMania worthy match because most of Cody Rhodes' WrestleMania matches have been finished with the Cody Rhodes Crossroads Trinity, where he hits the 3 Crossroads instead of just 1. So I feel like it made Randy Orton look weak. But after the match, Randy Orton gets up and does a post-match assault, hits Cody Rhodes with the belt in the head, and then goes into the corner, and we see '09 Randy Orton fully come back, as Randy Orton hit Cody Rhodes with a punt kick, which I don't think we have seen since 2011. 2011. I can't recall him punting someone since 2011 when during his feud with CM Punk in WrestleMania 2011. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But that's how the match closed out. We close out with Orton. I think Orton holds the belt up, and then we learn during the pre-show of night 2 that Cody Rhodes suffered a broken orbital, and his eye was apparently like sealed shut. He couldn't open it, so he's not even cleared to compete for a time being. He's apparently going to be out of action for a period of time from that punt kick. So they're selling it like it's the devastating punt kick of '09 to 2011. I do like when this violent Randy Orton is back. I'm glad that's back. I feel like Orton should have won this match. But no, Cal has a lot to say about Cody Rhodes winning and all that probably, so I'm gonna pass this on to him.
Not much. He's just trash. All his matches have been trash. I don't think he's ever had a good match in WWE except for the one against Seth Rollins and then the one against Cena at SummerSlam. That's like he's had 2 good matches, I think, like at most. He's so boring to watch as well. I don't get why people are riding his coattails so much. He like I can see why he became Stardust and left. I think the only appeal that he has is that he went to ATW and came back. Like that's why people like him. But he has no appeal to me. He's not that great on the mic. He's so boring to watch in the ring. Like he's not as boring as Gunther now, but like he's becoming Gunther. They might as well be a tag team and just like make people fall asleep. Call him like I don't know the Sandman or something. Then they just put people to sleep in their matches because their matches are so boring. And like I was falling asleep during this match too, and I like Randy Orton, but like yeah, Cody Rhodes is just awful, awful. He's not a main event guy. He's not a champion guy. How's that? He's awful. He's just terrible. And hold on, I think the TV's really loud in the other room, so I was about to go turn it off. My parents are watching it, but yeah, yeah, I think it's just terrible. Like I didn't find this match good at all. One of the worst WrestleMania main event. I don't consider it a main event anyway because it's the first night. Even though they consider it the main event, like this is just if this was the main event, it's the worst WrestleMania main event I've ever seen in my life. I'd rather watch Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania 20 on repeat than watch this match because this was awful. It made no sense at the end. What the hell is Pat McAfee doing? Why he's not doing like Wilson? She went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's it. Right as soon as he comes in, and then why RKO him? Like it makes no sense. Like none of it made sense at the end. I was so confused on what was going on. So it was terrible. Never again shall Cody Rhodes be in WWE. Just fire him. He's terrible. All right, I'll be back.
Yeah, well, we know
Alicia?
that's not that. He makes them too much money. But yeah, I kind of agree. Like the match itself was just fine. The Pat McAfee of it all was bizarre, especially in just the way that they told him to say things. Like I feel like if we had to go that way, they could have made it work. But how they booked him just wasn't great. And yeah, I do agree with you, Will, that I think this should have been Randy's moment to win. And then he still could have punted him afterwards, and we still have the same result of him being out for a little bit. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It was fine. It was another one of those build ups where you're just like, well, all right, I guess. And honestly, I know hindsight is 2020, but I feel like we could have got um, a better feeling from this match if it was Drew and Randy. Or I don't know, maybe because they just would have both been a little bit more aggressive. And I know we were like, oh, Cody was doing like not so great things with like the eye poke and the low blow shot, but it's just like, oh, okay, if that's you being aggressive, you could have done more. But I guess he still have to kind of toe that line of being a face too. And I did because I think there was a lot of boos when he won, and I'm pretty sure I heard him mouth the words "I understand." So I don't know what's coming down the pipeline. I know everybody wants him to do a heel turn, but we'll see. I mean, I think it would be cool to see him do another heel as the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes to see how he does. Because from the clips that I saw online, it was really intriguing in AEW, but that was a whole different type of story he was telling. But I don't know. We'll see. We definitely know this feud isn't over. So I'm sure. I feel like the next outing, Randy will win. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think he's acknowledging that he knows he sucks. That's what I think it is. So, so before we go on to night two, we'll talk about night one. Will let's just give your low point, your high point, or your overall grade for night one.
My low point of night one is literally the time length of all the matches. I mean, if you look at the time length and combine every match's time length, you only got about maybe an hour and 50 minutes of wrestling in a 4-hour show. I mean, we didn't even mention the whole Bianca Belair announcement that happened in night
Oh,
night
yeah.
one. Night one. Congratulations to Bianca Belair on her pregnancy, but we forgot to mention that. But even having that on Mania, it didn't feel necessary. Like, why do we need to have a pregnancy announcement on WrestleMania? Those couple of minutes for Bianca, congratulations to Bianca. Bianca, she's a great talent. Those couple of minutes to her could went to one of these other matches. And if I'm watching a 4-hour PLE of WrestleMania, I shouldn't be only getting that in like an hour and 40 minutes. Like 40% of the show wrestling. Everything else is either commercial or some other junk that we don't need to be watching. It didn't feel like a WrestleMania at all, to me. But I will say my high point was probably I. You say the Gunther Seth Rollins match was match of the night for me. Night one match of the night for me was Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. So that gonna be my high point. Overall grade for night one of WrestleMania, a C plus.
Alicia?
I kind of echo a lot of things that he said. The low point, I was gonna give it to like just the sheer low volume of actual wrestling, but I think I am gonna give it to the Vakir and Liv, with the asterisk being if they weren't 100% medically, then that stays with an asterisk. But I don't know. Maybe because at that point, that's when I was just like equally just frustrated with everything. But I will give that my official low point. I still do think that I really enjoyed the Seth and Gunther match of it all. So that was my high point, just because it was the match that kept me the most engaged. Of just, I don't know. It just did it. It did it for me for some reason versus you two. Overall, again, I'll agree with Will. That was just like a C. Um, yeah. Yeah.
For me, the low point was the Cody Rhodes match versus Randy Orton. It's trash. Probably one, like I said, one of the worst WrestleMania main events. I wish that was 0 minutes long. If they're cutting time for anything, they should have made this match 0 minutes long. I didn't need to see it. The high point was probably the Drew McIntyre Jacob Fatu match. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was very good. Overall grade, I'll probably give it a D minus, for the first night because it was terrible. I think the only factor that was good about it was the Cody Rhodes. I'm looking at his picture, so I said his name. The Jacob Fatu Drew McIntyre match. I thought that was good. And then I did like the Stephanie Vaquer Liv Morgan match for the spots they did, but I thought it was too short. They should have had more time. So they got all the spots in, but it was just in a short amount of time, which I didn't appreciate. But yeah, so overall grade D minus. I'll give it a D. I'll give it a D because D minus is a D. Let's give it a D. Night 2 starts off with Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. I believe this is my match. And once again, this match probably wasn't even 5 minutes long. So will my recap be that long? Hell no, because all that happened was two brutes bumping into each other a bunch of times and kind of doing tests of strength where one guy pushes the other guy back and goes and flexes and stuff like that. Eventually, I think Brock Lesnar was able to overpower Oba Femi and put him into the corner, and he went for a I think like a running shoulder block or a clothesline in the corner, but like Femi was able to just like take it and push Lesnar back down, and that caused Lesnar to go outside the ring and come back into the ring. No wait, Femi followed him on the outside, and Lesnar started hitting Femi on the outside, throwing him into the barricade and the ring post. Then they went back into the ring, and Lesnar was about to throw the the ring steps back into the ring at Femi, but he didn't. He got into the ring. I think Oba went for a running clothesline or something in the corner, but Brock picked him up into an F5, hit the F5, started like flexing after the F5 in his normal pose. In the background, you see Oba Femi kind of like shaking that off. He stayed down for a second, but got up halfway and was like shaking his head. Then he got up completely, and Brock turned around and was shocked to see Oba Femi up. Got put into a choke slam, and then he hit his finisher, which I don't even have. Apparently, it's called a fall from grace. I didn't even know that. I didn't know he had a nickname and had a name for his finisher. And then pinned him for the 1-2-3 within 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes long for the match. And after the match, the Brock Lesnar was kind of just staring at the middle of the ring, staring like blankly around. And I'm like, oh, is he retiring? It seems like he might be retiring. And then like they're like, no way. Raj and like, no way, no way. And then all of a sudden he starts going for his boots and his gloves, and he takes it off. And Brock Lesnar supposedly retired right there on the spot. So let's go to Alicia first. Alicia, what'd you think?
If I didn't mind, I'm not muted, right? Okay. I didn't mind this match being the shortness that it was. If we didn't have the night before. But I feel like, and I'm pretty, a lot of the Black wrestling community felt that this reset the timeline for everything, for all the wrongs of not of the booking of Brock Lesnar against Black wrestlers. But so we had a time on Twitter about that. So that just brought me joy. But I'm not a Brock Lesnar person, so I didn't really. I mean, the emotional of him potentially retiring didn't hit me as probably as it hit a lot of other people. I was just like, oh, All right, yeah, it's time. It's time. That's what I was saying in my head. But yeah, the right person won. This man is over with a capital O, and and um and to let him win clean like that, and for Brock to put him over, to because he could have totally said no, I don't want to lose to him. But you can't deny the impact he has had on the WWE community on such a short amount of time, and not many actually official matches. Um, so I guess the work from NXT really, one of the ways, in the best ways, carried him over into the main roster, and they've been booking him correctly so far. Fingers crossed. But yeah, put the rocket on him and let him take it all the way.
Before I go to Will, I just want to mention that Brock Lesnar like pretty much handpicked Obafemi as his opponent for WrestleMania. And there was moments where you see like Obafemi tearing up in the lead up. I did watch most of the lead up to this match because I love Brock Lesnar, and I'm really Obafemi's growing on me. I like his like strut. I love that. You know, everyone loves that little thing that he does. But yeah, so I like him too, and I like how they like his music. I like his music, and everyone goes whoo whoo. Like I always like that at NXT as well. I thought that was pretty cool. But there was a point in the first, I think the first head to head when Obafemi knocks Brock Lesnar out. Oh, you see Brock Lesnar mouthing to him, "Put your foot on me, like put your foot on me, like put your foot on me." So like, there's a point where Oba's like standing out over him with his boot on Brock Lesnar's chest, and Oba's crying because it's like, what a moment that Brock is giving me, and like that, like Brock. Like, we were talking about how like Delicia's like notorious for always saying when Orton tries, he's good. When Brock Lesnar cares and like shows he cares for the business, he does really care for the business. And like him picking Obafemi as his final thing and wanting to put him over the way he did and all the ways he did, like that was great. And like that was great to see, and how it was just a short match. And like everyone thought like Brock Lesnar would he just ran through John Cena, who's considered the greatest of all time, in a squash match at was it what was that thing called, WrestlePalooza?
WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, and and then like I guess he's returning the favor of like, I don't even know like why he would do that, but it was just nice to see, right? And like I'm happy that I'm just worried about Obafemi going too far too fast, because I think that the fans just tend to turn on the person, just like how they're turning on Cody now. What Rock and I were talking about it for a long time. These Cody crybabies are eventually going to turn on him, and now look at them; they're all turning on him. Like Rock called me one day. He's like, "Cal, what do you think about Cody?" I'm like, "He's a bitch. He's a Cody. He has all these crybabies." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, you know what? Can I use that? Can I use the term Cody crybaby?" I'm like, "Go ahead, The Rock. You could use that term." And so he made it famous on whatever show he made it famous. But we told you guys, so now you're gonna listen to me now. I'm afraid that these people are gonna turn on Obafemi if he goes too far too fast, because now there already talks about him facing Roman Reigns at SummerSlam and probably beating him at SummerSlam, and they're gonna get tired of him because someone else is gonna come up, maybe like a Jasper Troy, or I don't know who's gonna come up from NXT that's popular at NXT now for the men, like Ethan Page or Ricky Saints or Ricky Starks, whatever his name is. Like those kind of people like are gonna come up, and they're gonna be like the next thing. Like it's too fast for Obafemi. I want him to be like just destroying everybody, then get a shot at like like make Roman Reigns untouchable for a while, or unfortunately Cody Rhodes untouchable for a while, or whoever the champions on that side, because he might have to relinquish it for his health's sake. Make them like untouchable for a while, and then have Obafemi next year's WrestleMania. Because people think it's so far, but think about the year they had. They talked about Rock versus John Cena a year prior to the match, kind of thing. Like it goes by fast. We're gonna be talking about WrestleMania 43 in no time. So it's gonna go faster than you guys think, especially when it's like only like pay-per-views every month or whatever it is. That's what's gonna be. But it's probably gonna. Since it's in Saturday next year, it's gonna be Rock versus Roman for the World Championship, most likely, or something like that. Or Rock versus Stone Cold, or something like that for the championship next year, because that's what the Saudis want to see. But yeah, that's what we're at. All right, Will, go ahead.
So yeah, I was not expecting a squash match from Over and Lesnar here. I suspected Femi was gonna go over and be put over as the next big thing by defeating Lesnar. I was more stunned to see the Lesnar take his gloves off, his boots off, and literally cry in the center of the ring. I don't think I ever seen Brock Lesnar cry on camera ever in anything. thing. I don't think I can recall Lesnar ever showing any sign of emotion unless it was R-Truth breaking him. But I do think the right person won. I do agree that I don't want Obafemi moving too fast to the world title picture. Honestly, if I was booking it, I would have Oba go for the IC title during the summer, have him go chase that, and then maybe when Royal Rumble comes around next year year is when we finally strap that rocket onto Oba, have him win the Rumble, and then get a world title at next year's Mania. I think that would be good pacing in my opinion. But Oba Femi, like Braun Breaker, there's a couple other stars that they are going to be future champions. They are the next faces of the company. Same way to Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. These guys are the next generation of stars that are going to be your next level of Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and all these other current big names that we got. That's who's going to be. These are the guys that are going to be replacing those guys when they're gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I
like
was gonna suggest. Oh, yeah, no, I was gonna say I was gonna suggest him going for the IC title, but I was taking this whole time to try to remember who the IC champion was, and I can't.
said whatever Penta.
Penta.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll
right.
say like I said, like I just said, like he should wait until next
And
WrestleMania to
that's
get
the
the,
part.
like, they could talk about it now and not do it until next WrestleMania, like have the 1 year build. But like I like your guys' idea of making the Intercontinental Champion and make it like a WrestleMania 6 situation, champion versus champion, Intercontinental Champion versus the World Champion at WrestleMania 43. Winner comes away with both belts, and then eventually they'll vacate the Intercontinental Championship. But I think that's a good way of doing it.
They're not gonna do that, but that would have been cool.
That was one of my favorite WrestleMania main events because I loved Ultimate Warrior. So champion versus champion was really cool to see. We spent longer talking on this match than the match was. Okay, the next match was for the Intercontinental Championship. Well, we don't know. Actually, forget that we said Penta is the Intercontinental Champion. We don't know who it is yet. We'll talk about it after the match. Intercontinental
He was
Championship
going.
in a ladder match. Yeah, going into the match, he was Intercontinental Champion. Featuring the Intercontinental Champion, Penta, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rey Mysterio, Javon Evans, and Rusev. And I believe Will has this match.
I do have this match, and I am going to vent one stripe before I talk about this match. And I know Alicia is gonna agree with me on this. We should not be skipping entrances on WrestleMania. Why did Rusev, JD McDonough, and Dragon Lee not get their entrances? What in tarnation was creative decision on cutting that?
Snickers.
I think that's highly disrespectful to those Thailand.
Well, with that said, Will, you need a Snickers because you're talking out of turn right now. And yeah, that's what it was. It was Snickers and all that crap. They were talking about they had commercial breaks, and that's why we didn't see their entrances. But you're right. You guys are both right because Delisha did tweet about that or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say that wasn't creative. That was management.
Lucrative.
And then also, and then I see, I guess because WWE put all the entrances, like every entrance from Mania, like on a video. Dragon is a cool entrance with like the wings or dragon wings or whatever. It would be really cool to see.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. He had giant dragon wings on his back. It was really cool. So like, if I was them, would you go up to Triple H and be like, "What the hell, dude? Like, come on."
You know? No, because I don't want to get stuck here.
You gotta be able to speak up, man. If he's saying he's a person who you could speak to about anything, then be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, but also we also know what happens after Mania. There's always cuts going on, and like I'm not trying to be on that list.
That's also true. But so the match starts off fast pace before even the bell rings and Penta's in the ring. Rusev goes after, I think it was Ray or Javon. JD going at it with Dragon Lee. Chaos is abrupt around the whole ring. There is a couple moments in the match where Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee face off, and this is like mentor versus mentee going at it because they are both part of the LWO, if that's even still a thing. But they each have their moments with one another. There was a moment where Javon Evans and JD McDonough are on a ladder, and Rusev comes in and knocks it out. The camera focuses on Javon Evans goes flying out of ring, I think onto either Dragon Lee or Penta. They completely miss JD McDonough landing his feet on the top rope and doing a springboard moonsault to hit Rusev. There was no replay of that. I remember shouting at my TV. I'm like, "Show me the JD replay! I saw that. I want a better angle of that because that was a huge spot that I thought was cool. So there were some spots that were missed that I'm thinking I'm even missed because the camera didn't show it. But there's a point in the match where it's either Penta and Ray or Dragon Lee and Ray are going at it one another. Ray winds up getting sent over the top rope and onto Rusev for his seated senton move into a ladder that would like bridge across the announce table to break the announce table. Not the announce table, break the ladder bridge. I thought that took Rusev out of the match right there, but it didn't. Penta hit an amazing Mexican destroyer on Javon Evans from the top of the ladder onto another ladder that was bridged in the ring. Or was that JD McDonough?
JD McDonough.
The first Mexican destroyer was on JD McDonough. I think the only people in this match who actually had their hands on the belt in this ladder match at any point, because normally everyone gets their hand on it at one point. I think the only ones that actually have their hands on the title were McDonough, Penta, and Evans. I don't recall Dragon Lee ever climbing the ladder for the belt. Rey Mysterio went up a couple times but was thwarted. Rusev was the same way. There was a point where Javon Evans is hanging from the belt after Rusev knocked the ladder out from under him. And then Rusev pulls Evans down, takes him out of the picture for momentarily. Then Rusev goes to set up the ladder, but as Rusev's climbing the ladder, Javon Evans comes out of nowhere from the springboard with an OG cutter, which I absolutely marked out for. But after hitting the OG cutter, as Evans is getting back up, Penta runs up the ladder, jumps onto Evans, and then hits a Mexican destroyer on Evans to take him out. Then Penta climbs up the ladder and is sitting on top of it. As he's sitting on top of it, reaching for the belt, you see McDonough and Rey Mysterio crawling back into the ring, but it's too little, too late for them as Penta pulls the off the pendulum thing that they have the belt hanging on to retain the Intercontinental Championship. It was your normal fast-paced ladder match. It was what I was expecting out of a ladder match. I guess I was expecting a little more high-flying action. I would have liked more people being like the spot. I don't think we got the spot where there would be like multiple ladders set in the ring and then everyone's on top of the ladder reaching for the belt. So overall, this match was good. It's great. It's a great match to go back and watch from this WrestleMania. It's one that I would recommend going back and watching. It's just disappointing seeing that there was a few spots that the cameras missed and didn't show any replays of that would have been those guys' WrestleMania moments. But I'm going to pass this on to Delisha.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It was a really good match. But I didn't mind that it wasn't as spot fest as you was hoping for. I think they did keep it contained enough. And I wouldn't be surprised for the replays that you do see a little bit more of the action that might have gotten missed on the live broadcast, especially that JD spot because it was so good. And because that could have went so wrong. But I guess any top rope move or top ladder move, it potentially could go really wrong. But yeah, I enjoyed all these guys. It's one of those things that you this is one of the things you expect from Mania is trying to get as many people on the card as possible, and one of the good ways to do that is in a multi-man, ladder match. So yeah, that's fine. I'm not mad at Pencil keeping the title because I think he's been having some good matches. It's not as a notable run, as you could tell like 5 minutes ago. I couldn't remember who it was, but that also could just be my brain. Because I do like Prince a lot, but we'll see going forward. I do think he's not going to keep it for long, especially if they put Oba on that track. Um, but yeah, he could spend some more time with it to build up his IC run for a little bit.
I just noticed while watching guys going or while watching Will going over this match that JD McDonough on this graphic looks like a Temu version of Roman Reigns. It's really funny. But yeah, I thought this match was probably one of the better ones of the night, if not the best one of the night. Like wrestling wise and like cool spot moment wise, I thought it was great. That's what I expected for this match. I do have the same gripes as you guys, missing on certain spots, like the JD McDonough spot, the Dragon Lee entrance, stuff like that. I thought the Javon Evans OG cutter wasn't that good because Rusev jumps for him. He's like, "Oh, let me jump for you!" Like everyone, like while we were watching it live, we're like, "Why is he jumping from there towards Javon Evans?" Like that was kind of like, I don't like that. Like those cutter moves where the person has to jump towards them. I don't like that. That kind of stuff. So, other than that, it was a great match. I thought. Well, I wish Rusev got a little bit more play time and stuff like that, more highlights, but he didn't really. But shout out to Ray for protecting Rusev going on that senton, seated senton to the outside, breaking the ladder. You see Ray cradling Rusev's head with one hand. So that was great to see. But it was a fun match, as expected from a ladder match, a multiple man ladder match. So nothing wrong to say about that.
Yeah,
The next
I was
match.
gonna say.
Oh,
Oh no, I was gonna say yeah about the Rusev ladder. I mean the OG cutter spot. I think because I saw that too, and I was like, wait. I was like, in real. I mean, non wrestling. Right? I know why he jumped, so he could have
protect
the
him.
move done safely.
Yeah.
Because he was. I think the ladder was a little bit too far from the rope. But yeah, if you're watching it live just from the wrestling, you're like, why would you do that?
And well,
But
if the man's supposed to be bouncy, he should be able to bounce across the damn ring. So that was a
yeah,
bad spot in my opinion.
I don't think he had good footing because I saw him stumbling a few times, like getting up there. So I don't think he had the right footing to do it properly.
Because we've seen
But
Shane
yeah,
McMahon of all people jump across a ring. So if Javon Evans can't do it and you're supposed to be bouncy, I don't want to hear it.
No, he definitely done it before. It felt like he was too nervous about over jumping and going into the ladder, so he under jumped himself.
This is WrestleMania. You got to overjump. Look at the people. Look at what happened to Rusev. Look at what happened to JD McDonough on the ring, on the ladders. You got to go for it, man. This is WrestleMania. The next match was for the U.S. Championship, featuring the U.S. champion Sami Zayn against Trick Williams. I don't know who's got. Alicia, you got
Which
this
is
one?
also me.
Oh, it's you. Okay.
No, this one's also me. This is my last match. Another short match. Another relatively short match that didn't have a lot of action or moments in it, in my opinion. For the most part, it had its spots, and we'll go over those. I mean, we have Sami Zayn making entrance first, which champions are always supposed to enter last. I thought that was the rule. Like, I said that every match that a champion came out first, I'm like, why are you coming out first? Challenger's supposed to come out first.
That's
But
because his freaking CVS receipt of a cloak would still be on the ground.
yeah, true. Because Trick Williams did have that giant cloak that he came out with, which apparently they attached to him mid-entrance after he was on that podium thing. They ran up to him and attached it afterwards. There's a clip I seen on Twitter of it being added on. But yeah, this was a little bit of a boring match for me. I mean, Lil Yachty was involved in it because he was out there with Trick Williams. The the biggest things I could think of was that Trick Williams hit a bookend to pay tribute to Booker T and attempt to win that way, but Sami Zayn of course kicked out of it. Sami Zayn countered a trick shot attempt by hitting the Blue Thunder Bomb, which of course hardly ever wins a match. But I don't remember how they got outside of the ring onto the apron. I don't remember if Lil Yachty got involved in it, but they were both Trick and Sammy were on the apron, and Sammy ended up getting Trick Williams with a brainbuster on the apron, which I was like, it's been a while since I seen Sammy hit one of those. So that had my oh my god, that just happened moment of the match. And then afterwards, I think he hit a haluva kick on Trick while Trick was still on the outside, and went back in the ring. So he was trying to get a count out victory, but Trick made it in at the count of nine. This felt like Trick went face, Sammy went heel. It felt like they were playing role reversals here. Yeah, because the crowd was behind Trick the whole match and against Sammy. But Sammy ended up getting the exploder suplex into the corner and went for a haluva kick, but Trick was able to come back out of it with a trick shot. Before all this ended up happening, I know Yachty got involved again to distract Sammy because that also gave Trick opening to go for a trick shot. But I don't. But it was when Trick Williams finally hit the trick shot is when he got the win on Sami Zayn. It was a really short match, which is very odd for a Sami Zayn match because anytime Sami Zayn is on a big PLE like this, he's always fighting back for 20, 30 minutes. It takes a lot to keep Sami Zayn down. So the fact that this match ended so quickly, I feel like it didn't feel like that. I mean, because of all the other matches being short, it felt like it was supposed to be this way. But I think it hurts Sammy's credibility as a character of his will to fight back, and his will to endure and survive in a match. I think it just ultimately weakened Sammy overall. Oh, but it was an okay match. Not something I'm gonna go back and rewatch. So I'm gonna pass this on to Cal.
Yeah, to be honest, I lost interest in the match as soon as I got to say my "Let's go" for Sami Zayn. I don't even like Sami Zayn, but I like the part where everyone goes "Let's go," and that's about it. That's about the as much as I care for Sami Zayn matches all the time. As soon as I get to say "Let's go," then I just cut out of the match because I don't really care for Sami Zayn matches. I'm not really a fan of Trick Williams either, so I'd rather see Carmelo Hayes in this spot. I rather would have seen Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams, to be honest, instead of Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. And I know Sami Zayn is getting a lot of heat for that from the fans, but it's not really his fault because he's not booking it. But I'd rather have seen Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams in this match. Okay, Trick Williams won. I don't really care. I'd rather see Carmelo Hayes be the champion and hold it for a while because I think he's more talented. But people seem to love Trick, and he's got that entrance. Whenever you have an entrance that you can sing along to or do anything to, people love you. And look at Obafemi. Look at Trick Williams. Look at Sami Zayn when they say, "Oh yeah," or whatever. Let's go. When Shinsuke used to do the thing, like when Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, any of those people where people could do something to your song, that they try to push that because they feel like the fans are behind them. But just like me, like I don't care much for Sami Zayn, but I like to say the "Let's go." So there could be other people like that as well. But yeah, I don't know. Alicia, what'd you think?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really happy with how this all came about, especially the leaving Carmelo out of it phase where when he was the previous champion or whatever. Um, but I do feel like we might get a summer of Mello versus Trick. So I'll be happy that that might be the blow off at SummerSlam probably. At the end of the day, I was just happy that Trick won because much like how we were talking about Oba, he might not have a big moveset, but you cannot deny his charisma and his aura. And I know we do harp on the wrestling aspect of like these wrestling matches, but this is professional wrestling entertainment, and you have to be you can be the best athletic wrestler in the world, but if you can't connect with that crowd, sorry, you're not going to cut it. And Trick is one of the most over people that they have in the company, not just on SmackDown, just in the company, period. So yeah, him winning was the right way to go. Again, strap the rocket tube and see where we go. He definitely will be in another because he kind of was main event scene for a little bit, for a second, but he definitely will be one that will also be in the main event scene. Hopefully, maybe come next Mania or in the coming couple of years because he's only what late 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, something like that. So he's if he stays healthy, he can have a very long career going forward.
Welcome Entertainment. Entertainment puts a good point. Like the Bushwhackers were pioneers in the fan interaction along with Bret Hart and stuff like that. That's very true. Welcome Entertainment. Thank you for joining. Yeah. So I mean, I like if Felicia's right, where this leads to a Trick versus Carmelo into SummerSlam, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way they're not going to run that feud back at some
Yeah.
point. And I feel like right now into SummerSlam is a good time to do it because, like you said, like I was saying, he has a very good gripe of uh, why he deserved a shot. Because if it wasn't for a Trick, he would have lost his title.
Right. The next match was a street fight featuring the Demon Finn Balor against Dominic Mysterio. Felicia, I think.
Yeah, and what yeah, what seemed like the forever blow off of a Dom and Finn match. So I feel like this could have happened a year ago and may have been a little bit more invested. Um, I was very interested in see how this would go because this was also a street fight. So not so you should expect the same brutality a little bit of Drew and Jacob, but it, but an actual like match because this one will count. um, I think these two right away came in with weapons. I think a steel chair and a kendo stick. I forget who had what, but I do remember right away we went for the weapons. But obviously, like you said, if there's no rules, why are we trying to fight? I mean, why are we trying to like fight? Like get your weapon and let's go. Um, and I think Dom Dom like knocked over um, Ben into the ropes to Finn. Where did I get Ben from? Finn into the ropes. Onto the mat to do a frog splash, which almost looked like it might have ended right there. Which, given how the night was going, it could have with such the short matches we were having. But Finn did kick out, and then went for the coup de grace after a drop kick from off one of the chairs, I think. Excuse me. And then no, I think I got a spot mixed up. I think, but I think they did a lot of back and forth near falls with I think Dom still trying to end the match with a frog splash and then tried to do a 619 again, but did not. And because I think there was a moment where I think Finn had the chair at the artist's neck, and then I think he went for. I think that's when Dom went for the drop kick, and but he was able to kick out, and then he did. Finn did the coup de grace off through the table, which would eventually end the match and for Finn to get to win. Which, if he didn't win, I would have told Finn just go pack your bag and give your resignation just then and there. Because going into this match, I didn't know what to expect because outside of NXT, they have not booked Finn as the Demon properly since. They treat it as a separate entity, and it was never that. It was always just a way for Finn to dig deeper into himself to um, be a little bit more aggressive and to channel in that energy to take it to the next level. The way they booked him from the main roster before, the last 3 or 4 times they've tried, it always came off as corny and cheesy, and I don't even think he won in those. Definitely not the last one because I think that was the one with Roman, and that was just terrible. So glad to see that he won the match. If he does want to do the Demon again, hopefully they keep it as true as to what it's supposed to be. And also, he doesn't need to fight Dom again at this point right now because I'm like, this has to be over with and let Finn do something else while Dom continues with Judgment Day and AAA and being the one, still being the whiny prat that he is right now. Let him go do that. I don't want to see them fight again right now because, like I said, this could have been done and over with a year ago. Sorry about that. I'm gonna mute myself.
Yeah, I think it was a decent match. I really liked how they employed the weapons in the table. I love the finish of the coup de grace through the table. I think that actually one of the best entrances to WrestleMania was Dominic Mysterio, him being the king of luchadors and him coming out on a throne with all these luchadors flanking him. I thought that was a really cool entrance. I really like Dominic Mysterio's entrance. I think he always has pretty cool entrances at WrestleMania, so this was really cool to see. The Demon entrance was all right. I mean, But I did like the match. I did like the coup de grace through the table. What about you, Will?
I thought the match went perfectly. I think this was probably the only match that had the right amount of timing for it. I think that both entrances were outstanding, but I do agree. I think Dom had probably the best entrance of WrestleMania Mania for either night. Topped Cody's entrance on night one, but I think Dom's entrance on night two definitely topped Cody's. What I really loved was like the art on Finn Balor's back of the demon hand holding a little Dom, bringing Dom Dominic to the mouth of the demon. I thought that was hilarious illustration on the back. I enjoy it because it was pretty much Dom being devoured by the demon, and it was something that Dom feared, and it's what exactly happened with the match. I do agree with Alicia saying that this should be where Finn breaks off from his Judgment Day squabbles and goes on to his own main push. I don't want to say put Finn towards the IC title because I want Obafemi going for that. If anything, I would honestly move Finn to SmackDown and have him start reestablishing himself as a top babyface of the brand. Maybe get him involved in the U.S. title picture after the Mellow Trick Williams saga or something like that.
I feel like
But that's my
with
mindset
Cody out,
thinking.
I feel with Cody out, they should just make Finn the champion on SmackDown. That'd be great. 'Cause he deserves it. He lost it for injury. Why not get it back from someone who else is injured, right? So that's how I feel. Um, the next match was for the WWE Women's Championship, featuring WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill against Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, so this would be our, I think this is our last women's match of the Mania card. And I don't exactly know what Jade came out with. I think it was some high fashion concept that's above my brain scale. But I did like the gold look that she had on, and I did like Rhea coming out in the white. I thought they just looked good coming out. This match was another match that I was very curious on how it would go. Cargill came out the gate trying to assert dominance over Rhea, and Rhea doesn't get to face like like powerhouses of her stature and size much. I think the last might have been Naya. I think I'm probably wrong, but I feel like that was like her most like big, strong, could break you opponent that she's faced. And it was interesting to see them go like power for power, strength for strength in this match. I think after there was a moment after Cargo was trying to get some early offense going, Rhea just like laughed at her attempts, which I just thought that was funny. And I don't. This was when things got a little awkward for me because in a point where Jade wasn't in trouble, Mishin and BFAB appeared to be a distraction, which I knew would happen because they're a heel and that's what they're going to do. It was just for me awkward because I think Jade might have had the upper hand at that point. So for them to come out, it was just a little awkward or awkward timing of it all. But they didn't have to fret because while they were distracting Rhea, I think it was BFAB who might have kicked Rhea while she was in the corner, with the ref distracted, of course. But not to be outnumbered too long, here comes EO to even up the odds to beat back Misha and BFAB. Because I think EO got onto the apron, and for a split second, it looked like she might like taunt Jade, but it was really just do a moonsault onto Michin and VFab. But at the same time, Jade was going for like the big boot, which of course since Io jumped off, she missed, but it was supposed to handle that way, leaving her like strangling on a rope, which left her open to a riptide. Or so we thought that at first looked like Rhea couldn't lift her up to, or it could be a quote unquote botch, but it was actually just Jade reversing herself out of it to try to give her, I think, a power bomb, I think. Or I forgot the name of Jade's finisher move because it's been called a couple different things. So my mind just wants to go to that. But Rhea countered out of that and like ducked under to get her to the riptide to beat her to to win the SmackDown Women's title, whose name eludes me because it's too long. I honestly think this might have been Jade's best match that I've seen of hers. I didn't really see her much in AEW, so I don't know how things were going over there. But in WWE, this has been her best match. Despite some of the up and downs of promo that they had, I do think that they have pretty good ring chemistry. Um, and I think also with Rhea being so established, I really do think also I guess since they were power for power in like strength, Jade didn't have to worry about I guess hurting her. I don't know, but I don't know what it is. But this was Jade had a great showing out. Rhea's gonna be Rhea. Like you don't really have to worry about her in the match. But I did feel like another one of those matches that could have gone a little bit longer, just to give Jade a little bit more establishment. Because of course, there's all those people online who are just saying that she can't wrestle. Um, but overall, I did actually surprisingly enjoy this match. And then we'll see how Jade fares afterwards, and how Rhea, will now be on SmackDown, could hopefully bring some life into that division as well, because it is suffering. And Will, we'll go to you. What did you think about the match? Do you think this was a good showing for Jade? Do you think Jade should have retained to give a little bit more time with the belt, or do you agree that just put it on Rhea and set the women's division a little bit?
I love both ladies. Rhea is my favorite female competitor on WWE as overall right now. So I'm glad that Rhea won the belt. Belt. Jade is a tremendous in-ring talent. The match was well done, well paced for the time that they were given, and it was the longest women's match on the card of both nights. But I was just like, if Rhea loses this match, I am going to lose my mind. Because Jade Cargill, if correct me if I'm wrong, Jade Cargill won the women's title at WrestlePalooza, right? Or was it at Evolution before that?
I don't remember.
No, I don't think it was Evolution because I think Naomi defended Evolution, right?
No, but Naomi was the world champion.
Oh, then I
champion. This is the WWE.
All I know is she hasn't defended the championship. That's all I know.
She only defended it once against Mia Yim on a SmackDown in her like near 200-day reign. So I was disappointed in her title reign. I was like, just please get the belt off of Jade, so that we can establish the championship as a champion, as the world champion for the women's division of SmackDown. Because I think both women's championships on SmackDown have been hampered and damaged by the title reigns, their booking. I mean, we didn't even have the Women's US Championship on WrestleMania this year.
Yeah, I will say some of that was also due to women getting injured as well. But also, yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. It needed a refresh.
Like we got Rhea as the champion now for SmackDown. It's gonna be a fresh face on SmackDown. We got for the division. We'll probably see it defended much more on PLE because Rhea's the champion. So overall, I'm happy with how the match played out. I'm happy with the finish. I'm a fan of both wrestlers. Just wasn't a fan of Jade's title reign.
Yeah, for me, I thought it was a decent match. Like Jade Cargill can wrestle, but she's also one of those like I got 5 moves and that's about it. So it's the right move because I didn't even know she defended her championship on SmackDown. So for me, I'd never seen her defend her championship. So Rhea winning is the right thing to do, and now maybe we'll get some new feuds now that she has to be on SmackDown. It'll break up that Io Sky thing, but which is sad to see. But at least we'll see her defend the championship. But other than that, it was a decent match. I actually did like the counter at the end where she went for the Eye of the Storm, whatever the hell the move is called. I have no idea what the move is called. And Rhea slipped below her and turned it into a riptide. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to see if I can capture it to show you what these lunatics are doing. They built themselves a tower to jump off of.
Oh my god.
preparing for their tag team debut or whatever.
Okay, the final match of the evening is the night 2 main event, or officially the WWE main event, featuring the World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk defending against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns came out first to an actually live played drum, because I could hear it. I knew it was live, compared to last year when the person was just like pantomiming hitting drums and Roman Reigns' drum was going off, but it wasn't really going off. So he actually had live drums, so he came out first. Then CM Punk came out with a really cool jacket, which I hope they sell. I don't need the names on it. They can do it without the names, but having the Larry patch, the patch for AJ Lee, the patch for Chicago, and then on the back the Harley race with the Infinity Gauntlets of Infinity Stones on the back. If they really sell that, that would be awesome. I'd definitely buy that jacket. I thought it was really cool. I don't read the names on it. Like I said, I don't read the names on it though. Other than that, it's a really cool jacket. This was just a very old school wrestling match, and I wasn't expecting to see the bloodline or anything fishy happen, because I think they wanted to have Roman and Punk face each other mano a mano, like an old school 80s 90s wrestling match where there's like no like referee being knocked out. There's nothing like that. It's just straight head to head, man to man. Though about the no DQ thing, I don't know what they can say about that, but that happens. The match starts out with Punk slaps Roman Reigns, and then they just start going back and forth, back and forth. It was literally a back and forth match. Like Punk had the advantage for a while, then Roman, then Punk, then Roman, then Punk, then Roman. Some few spots to note is when eventually they got to the outside. Punk laid Roman on the announce table, went to the top, took too much time to do the elbow off the top. That's when Roman got up and hit Punk and dropped him down to the ring floor with a Superman punch. He then threw the ring steps right into Punk's face, which busted him open. Which I was like, why? Isn't that disqualification? It happened right in front of the ref, but I guess that's when Michael Cole will say that's where the ref has to give some leeway in these championship matches, because he literally said that on the spot. Then Roman's then shout out to like George Kittle on the ringside, talk about the Niners, something about Niners or something, whatever, and did a powerbomb through the announce table onto Punk. Brought him back into the ring. Was trying to go for, I think, a spear or something, or a Superman punch, but CM Punk caught him into a GTS, but it was only a 2 count. Then he went for another GTS, but Roman countered with a spear. Eventually, both of them were able to get up, and Punk was about to hit a Superman punch, but no, he did hit a Superman punch, then went to the outside and grabbed some fans' fake Ulafala, came back into the ring, did the hoo-ah thing, and went for a spear, but Roman caught him into a guillotine choke. Punk then reversed it into an Anaconda Vice, but then Reigns recountered that into a guillotine again. Both of them are really tired, but eventually Punk was able to get out of that and go for a sharpshooter, but Roman countered that, and they started taunting each other back and forth and exchanging punches with the boo and the ha, the boo and the ha. But there wasn't, no one's really getting booed this match. It was a very good match. So then, as they're looking at each other, they're both on their knees looking at each other. Punk is starting to take off his wraps off his hand, and then they both get up to their feet. Then Punk throws the wraps. I don't know if it's supposed to hit Roman, but it hit the ref or whatever. Or hit Roman, hit the ground. The ref went to go grab it and throw it out the ring. And as that's happening, Punk hit a low blow. And when the referee turned around, the arm was still like underneath between Roman's legs. But I think that's when he picked him up to go for the GTS. Hit the GTS. And then brought him to the outside. I think Roman rolled to the outside from that GTS. Punk put Roman onto the announcer table. Hit the elbow drop off the top. Brought him back into the ring. Hit a GTS. And then that's when Roman bounced off the ropes and did that spot again where Punk is on his knees. Roman came onto his shoulders, and he thought he was going to go for a second GTS, but Punk was just way too tired. He collapsed. As he collapsed, Roman went for a spear, got back up, hit a super spear this time, and got the 1, 2, 3. And he is your new WWE, or sorry, he's your new World Heavyweight Champion. And I guess I will go to Delisha first. Delisha, how'd you find this?
Yeah, I thought the match was solid. These two have a very storied history that they brought into this matchup. And I think it gave what a CM Punk match and Roman Reigns match can do. Um, I actually was not sure how this would go because it really could have gone either way. I'm I don't I'm not exactly sure how we go forward because again, Roman isn't there full time. I mean, obviously he'll be there tonight. I am curious to see what his next crop of challengers can be, and does this put Punk in the notion to turn fully heel? I don't know, but I'm interested to see how it goes. And like I said, seeing who his next crop of people can be. I don't want it to be the same old like Seth Rollins and then a run back of Punk at Backlash and what say you like it really is. I think this is a pivotal moment right now for WWE that they really have to start pushing their younger or who haven't had a main event chance people now, especially with a lot of the, again, I know it's a lot of online backlash. So until people start putting their money where their mouth is and stop showing up to shows, which they're not going to do, I think this might be a pivotal year for WWE to really try to turn things around. I do because, and I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of feel like my fandom waning a bit. At least when it comes to like Raw and SmackDown, so I'm just like I'm tired of seeing the same people with the championship belts, uh, time and time again. So I really do hope we get a little bit of a renaissance, and having some fresh faces at the top.
Yeah, I think Roman did say in the after show that the post show that he's going to be a full time champion. He's no not be part time champion, but we'll see if he does that. And as for what you said, we'll probably see Obafemi come out tonight when Roman does his segment. But maybe Gunther will also come out and say, "Hey, listen, boy, you're still new here. Get to the back. I beat people like the light. I retired John Cena. I retired, AJ Styles. I retired so and so. I retired Goldberg. I should be the front of the line for this championship." And that might start a feud between Obafemi and Gunther. But I think Gunther should get the go ahead over Obafemi if that was the case. What do you think, Will? What do you think of the match and the aftermath of it?
I thought this was the best story told match of both nights of WrestleMania. I liked the pacing because it had that methodical pacing that Gunther tries to get into his matches, but it didn't feel as slow as the Gunther match. This is an example of how you do a slow, methodical paced match because it didn't feel slow, but it didn't feel action packed or anything like that. That I like the story that it drove. That if it CM Punk's old body is finally what gave out on him, and why he couldn't he had no fight left to give give. I did also see this going as either way of victory. I will admit I wanted Punk to retain, but I'm not disappointed that Roman won the title either. And to go on what Cal was talking about the post show, Roman Reigns said not only will he be on Raw this Monday coming up, he will be full time throughout the entire summer. He said he's here for the entire summer, so I'm assuming that this is gonna be the summer of Roman as champion, and then he drops the title at around SummerSlam time before going on his hiatus. But I do like that we'll be having Roman Reigns more than just one-offs, and then he'll appear in a couple months. Because I hate that when the world champion is like that. And that's for
Uh,
any world champion.
Yeah, and it does, and just to iterate for people watching, I don't that don't mean I guess we need to see him every single week. But with Roman, it's been like I'm here, and then I'll see you in 4, 5, 6 to 8 weeks, and then I'll come back and things like that. But yeah, I like it'll be interesting to see how this title reign goes.
Yeah. So with that said, let's go ahead and talk about our second night two of WrestleMania. We'll go to Delisha first. Your low point, your high point, your overall grade of night two.
Low point, I think I'm going. This one's a little bit tougher because this was a pretty solid card. Uh, uh, I guess low point just for I guess in terms of length, that I'm just gonna give it to the Trick and Sammy. Although it's not a knock to the match itself. It's just because I have to for the show. Because I think I had a pretty solid watch with night two, which I think that's kind of been the theme the last couple of years anyway, since we've gone 2 nights. High point. I'm gonna give it to Oba winning over Brock, just because it was another one of those matches where you could see them going the other way, but they made the right choice. And then overall, I'm gonna give night two a solid B. So where a lot of these matches were still shorter than what they could be. We could have even had a whole other match, like you said, with the women's US title picture. And then again, just so many commercial breaks and ads or ads or whatever. But overall, night two much better than night one, and they made some good choices on putting people over.
Oh, and before I go to Will, I want to say that we did mention, Will did mention the the last segment. We also did have the Hall of Fame segment that we failed to mention, and then night two we had the Danhausen segment with the Miz and Kit Wilson. So that we did have that. So, Will, your low point, your high point, and overall grade of night two of WrestleMania.
I mean, my low point would definitely be the Trick Williams Sami Zayn match simply because of the length, and it didn't feel like a normal Sami Zayn fight Sami fight kind of match. I'm used to Sammy putting in that fight, that long haul drive to survive in the match. So that is definitely my low point of the card. But it was still a relatively good match. Like Alicia said, this whole card of night two surpasses night one in general. General. My high point is honestly gonna be the ladder match. It was my favorite match of both nights. I loved the fast paced, high action of it. I'm always a sucker for ladder matches in the high spots. So even with the missed spots that they had that they didn't get, it was still my favorite match of the night. And I even mentioned in our chat match of the night contender, probably match of the PLE contender. I am gonna stick by that statement, and I would give my overall grade for night two a probably high B plus area, just not yet towards anyone in the area, but high B plus.
Yeah. For me, the low point was the Trick Williams Sami Zayn match. I thought it was just. I think all three of us agree on that. For me, I just wasn't invested into it, and I thought it was boring. I'd rather have seen Carmelo Hayes there. My high point was probably the Roman Reigns CM Punk match. Like Will said, it was a very slow match, a methodical match, but it didn't feel slow. It was very good storytelling, like Alicia likes to see in matches. So I think that was the best match of the night, in my opinion, for like a wrestling match. And then overall grade, I'll probably give it a B as well. So I didn't think it was that bad. Night two definitely surpassed night one. With that said, we're gonna go to our finishers, or sorry, now we'll call them our final thoughts with our final boss in the background. And we'll go to Will first. Now, overall, night one and night two of WrestleMania 42, just overall, what is your low point, your high point, your overall grade of WrestleMania 42?
Well, my overall low grade of WrestleMania 42 from both night one and night two was the high amount of short matches and lack of wrestling on a WrestleMania mania. Like I said on night one about the timing, but if you combine the matches of night one and night two all together, it's probably the same length as what was WrestleMania 17 or 18 back in the day. Just 3 hours and 20 minutes of wrestling. Like we could have this could have been a one night WrestleMania thing. So that would be my low point. My high point, for overall would probably be the storytelling of the Roman versus CM Punk match, because while the ladder match was my favorite, I did really enjoy the storytelling of that match as a whole. So I think this was the perfect match to main event the entirety of the weekend. And if I'm going off average of my grades, I'm gonna give this WrestleMania a C plus. I gave night 1 a C minus and night 2 a B plus, but the C minus was really low. So C plus is where I'm gonna be.
Alicia, what about you? Same thing. Overall, low, high, and great.
Yeah, overall, I think this Mania was just okay. Thanks to Night 2 carrying the load, the positive load for it. I didn't mind the time frame of the 6 to like 9:30, 9:45, whatever. Like I thought that was fine, but also at the same time, give us quality matches. Like when the fans were complaining that WrestleMania was too much, it was because you were trying to jam 12,000 matches into a 6 hour show or something like that. So, and then you broke it up into 2 nights and you still were kind of giving us a lot. And then this one like felt too less. So we like, let's meet in the middle and uh fix that. Because like I said, the rest, I mean, I know Triple H has gone on record saying like even though the fans kind of treat Mania as like a season ender for um, the next phase of the WWE television show, and they don't see it that way, but it is your biggest show of the year, and it should be treated as such and not as an advert for your shareholders or whatever, whoever gets the money or whatever. And I know that is ridiculous to say in this capitalist society that we live in, but you kind of have to juggle, you're a business, you have to juggle the consumers of your product along with the people who are making the money off the product. So if the fans aren't happy, you got to try to find a way to fix that. Um, but because, and I guess also given how I graded night 1 and night 2, mine would probably fall into that C plus range as well for the total of the show. Did I miss anything?
No.
Okay.
For me, the low point, we're all saying the matches are so short. I'll change it just so it's not we're all the same. For me, I'll say the camera work. The camera work was hard. We had one part where the cameraman fell down, another part where they missed JD McDonough doing the thing, another time when Logan Paul came out and like one of the like they had the Brady Bunch thing going on, or the as Felicia would know the blab thing with different squares, and one of the cameras was just completely out. And there's other times where the camera was just off of things and stuff like that. They weren't showing the things properly. So I'll just go with the camera work. The production value from that camera work was not very good. Overall, for the high point, I do want to say that the timing of not the timing of the match. I don't mean like the length of the matches. I mean the timing. Like it started at 6 and it ended by 9:30 ish. So like we didn't waste our evening going into like 11:30 being super tired with like wrestling. Like Raj and Chip were able to leave around like 9:30 from my house and get home in time for work today. For people who have work today, it really helped out with that kind of case. So that like the actual timing of the time slots of the match, not the length of the match. Overall, great. I'll probably give it a C minus, closer to C than C minus because I didn't think it was a very good WrestleMania. One of the worst we've had in a long time. That like Alicia said and Will said, night 2 definitely did help out night 1, but night 1 was atrocious. It was atrocious. So like that's why it's lower end of C um of that for that. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead. Will, thank you for joining us today. Where can we find you? I know you've gotten back to things now, so tell us about it.
Well, when I was on here for the Royal Rumble, it kind of gave me the itch to stream again. So I am back live streaming on Twitch. I'm primarily playing GTA Online, but I also am doing games such as Digimon Story, Time Stranger, WWE 2K26, 6, NASCAR 25, 5. Both NASCAR and Digimon are actually being uploaded to YouTube as well, so I am back to making content on YouTube as well. Well, and I'm still working on my story and comics at the same time with the artists that I work with on those. So you can follow me on Twitter if those interest you. Thank you for having me here, Cal, and I cannot wait for the awards.
Okay. And Delisha, what about you?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm semi-retired from content creating, of being a content creator, just because, as I've been saying for the last 2 years, life is lifing right now, especially uh, on the financial front. But yeah, but if you would like to follow me, you can follow me, Delisha Renee, on Twitter and on Instagram. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got going on besides hanging out with you guys after every PLE.
Yeah, so you can find both of their information in the description below. As for me, the next time you'll see all of us, all three of us actually, will be 1 week from today at 6 p.m. Eastern for the season 9 AfterMat special, which is the AfterMat Awards. We'll be talking about giving away awards like the Match of the Year, Superstar of the Year, Angle of the Year, Storyline of the Year, whatever you want to call it, stuff like that. So make sure you come back and check for that. And then that will be the end of season 9, and we're going into 10 years of this soon. So until then, guys, remember, you guys are all morons, and the secret boss is always right. Until next time, see you later.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust.